All right, here we are again. I'm Indie Voyage Rob, and I'm here with Jeremy Ingham, and we are looking
Hello.
at Venture Forth. This is the third update. Now,
Yes.
we're looking at a crazy circus land of Willy Wonka and Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. What's going on here?
Yeah. So as you can see, the whole world kind of looks like a circus tent right now.
Yeah.
And essentially, so what's going on here? I've been working with my artist Alex, and we've been working out environmental models and different environmental styles for the actual cave walls and that sort of thing. And so the entire cave is made up of these building blocks in order to create this procedurally generated world. And so what this skin on the game does is it colors each of the building blocks a different color. And so right now it's showing the simplest version of all the building blocks, which is just three. So you have the floor building blocks, which can also be double as the ceiling, and then you have two walls, which consist of a central column, which is the green part. Here you can see the blue part is like the wall that goes in between the columns, and then this is what it looks like with out the circus tent effect enabled. But yeah, so essentially what this does is it allows Alex to play the game and study the architecture of the cave and see just how these building blocks fit together so that he can design more cool ones.
And this is pretty cool. And I'm seeing all these arrows pointing all over the place. What is that
Mm-hmm.
referring to?
So in addition to this building block representation, I've also added some um, arrows that help you see what each of the creatures are thinking. And so this kind of helps to debug the behavior of the creatures. So right now, just as a side note, I've activated like a scenic camera that where you can just move around and look at the world from any location, including going outside of the cave and looking back at the walls. So you can kind of see from outside the cave, looking into it, what it looks like, and it's kind of interesting. Um, when you just have the cave rendered normally and you look at it from the outside, it essentially looks like a castle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can see here we're actually outside of the cave right now, looking into it. Um, but anyway, back to the arrows. So right now, each of the creatures have arrows that are rendered in front of them that show you where they are moving to at that current time. And so the color of the arrow lets you know what behavior state the creature is in. And so right now there's a few general behavior states, such as like wandering, running away, attacking you, searching for you, that sort of thing.
It's very cool.
So yeah.
And just take us through what's going on. What are all the numbers, the 30,000s, and what's just kind of as things happen, just kind of
Yeah,
fill us in.
sure. So right now I'm kind of in a room activating and deactivating various building blocks that make up the world, so you can kind of see how the walls are built together. So you can see this blue wall connects the central columns of each space, and then the yellow parts create the interesting slopes in between the floor, that sort of thing. Um, and the numbers that are on the floor represent the estimated distance from the player. And so when you saw 30,000, that's actually the default number when you can't reach to something. It just defaults to a very large number that you're never actually going to find in the world. Like the world's not going to be large enough for a space to be 30,000 spaces away. So that's just the number for I can't get there. But as you can see here, all of these numbers on the floor are the distance from the player. And so right now, I've activated this scenic God camera again, which is moving around without the player. And so you can see how those distances look.
It's very cool. Are the alpha testers and beta testers going to have access to looking at these kind of tools, or is this just going to be seen in videos like this?
I mean, I think I'm definitely gonna release something with these features in it, because I mean it's so easy. It's just basically I enable a little button on my code, and then it allows you to do all this. So essentially, when I'm using it, what I do is the F keys 1 through 6 activate and deactivate the building blocks of the cave, and I can press the letter N to activate and deactivate all of these debugging options, such as the arrows and the numbers and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, I think at least in the near future, what I'm going to be doing is whenever I do a release, I'm going to do a regular release or a regular build of the game with a developer mode as well. And the developer mode will have these options enabled.
It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing around with that myself. I mean,
Yeah.
I would basically just be zooming around, running through walls, and having a grand old time, not knowing what on earth was going on.
I kind of like playing the game with just those columns enabled, where you can see through the walls to rooms near you, and it kind of gives you a really interesting sense of space, where, I mean, you might be right next to a room that, you know, takes a little while to get to, but you can just see right through the wall where it is, and I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's certainly very cool.
Mm-hmm. And so the red arrow means that they're attacking.
How apt.
Yes.
That's very cool. That's super cool. I mean, it's not often you get to see, even in a video, this kind of behind the scenes. And I've been through enough games projects. I've seen these builds. Usually they're alpha builds and they have zero art in the game at all. But I've seen this kind of stuff before, but it's rarely this useful. Like, as someone who started testing, I've always just wanted more and more tools to help myself, like, go through and actually check on features, making sure the game's logic was behaving appropriately. And this kind of thing, like going back 13 years, if I have access to something like this, working on the AAA titles I worked on, which I will not name at the moment. Nothing wrong with them, but there's really nothing wrong with those titles at all, but they did not provide anything other than a VHS recorder, which is what we recorded bugs on. This kind of thing was like, no, you can't have it. We did have a test Xbox though. That was kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting. I've kind of been doing more and more work into creating these debugging tools, because it takes a little while to set up at the beginning, but it can really be so useful. I mean, to be able to see exactly what these creatures are thinking. Like, I mean, I was having some difficulties in, like, for example, programming the running away AI, where they would run away most of the time, but then sometimes they would just start doing something really funky. And, you know, with these simple little arrows enabled, like, you can see exactly where they're trying to go, and it helps you be able to narrow down exactly what is going wrong.
Now,
very quickly.
I love what you're doing here, and it seems like every once in a while you will do this kind of weird ghost departure from your body and zoom around and see exactly what's happening, Matrix style.
Exactly. So there, you saw me, basically zoom away from my body and looked at this green creature, and you could see he had a few yellow arrows, and yellow is the searching behavior. And so the few yellow arrows, what they show is they show where he started searching from, the last place that he know the player existed, and so essentially what the searching behavior does is it tracks the last place that they saw you, and then it tries to move to that place, and then once it gets to that place, it just moves away from the location that it started searching at.
That's very cool.
And so, you know, that those few arrows put together show you exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah, now you're looking
and
at
it's kind of fun watching this guy zoom around and switch between the attacking and searching behavior.
Yeah.
So right now, this guy can only walk on the ground, and so he can't jump this gap to get to me. And so when a creature cannot get to you, they'll just like sprint around and kind of run away. And so that's what you can kind of see him there doing. And so sometimes he'll run away into that opening there, and then he'll be searching for me, and he'll come back out and that sort of thing. So
and that guy's one of the
cool
harder
watching. Yeah, he does a lot of damage, and so the only reason I'm not taking damage right now is because I have that invincible test bow equipped. Otherwise, I would die very quickly unless I have some strong equipment.
Invincible test bow. That is
yes, I think that's what it's actually called. And yeah, it makes you invincible.
The piece of weaponry that is required in any, game worth its salt.
That's right. Yeah. So it's an easy way to enable and disable God mode. You just equip it or unequip it.
Oh, you got directions up at the top there. I did not notice that. Have they been there the whole time?
Oh, yeah, they have been there the whole time. And yeah, that's just another simple debugging thing. It shows your degrees from north, as well as your cardinal direction. And since the cave is set up hex-based, the cardinal directions are split up into 6 cardinal directions of northeast, east, southeast, southwest, west, and northwest.
Nice. Very cool. It's very elegant, and I do like it. It all makes perfect sense. And yeah, I'm looking forward to snagging one of those builds. Are you gonna post one for the alpha folks, or
yeah,
am I
sure.
just gonna have to snag one on the DL?
Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna finish adding a couple more things and then post a new build, probably sometime this week.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to go over for this week, Jeremy? Or
I think that's pretty much it for updates this week. Yeah, this has been kind of a behind-the-scenes look at what the game is.
All right. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much. And for all of you folks watching out there, feel free to ask questions. I'm sure there will be a lot. This is fascinating stuff right here. And I'm sure all you blossoming game devs, take note. This is good stuff for testing your game. It's excellent. I guess until next time. Oh, what shall we expect for next time?
For next time,
you can plead the fifth if you'd like. But.
Yes. So for next time, the next major thing I have on my list is actually I'm gonna try and add in Perlin noise, which is kind of something that's been on the list for a while, but it keeps getting pushed back. But I really want to add it. There's essentially countless applications for what you can do with Perlin noise. Everything from like post-processing effects to creating textures to various particle effects, and there's so many possibilities. I definitely want to have that in here, and so that's going to be one of the next things that I work on.
And I'm sure folks out there will love to hear more about how you integrate that stuff and what you use it for, because it's kind of a big deal, and I'm looking forward to it too myself.
Yeah, one of the fairly straightforward ways of applying it is to the flame. So any fire, that sort of thing, it can create a really organic distortion effect on the flames and make them look really cool. The flames already look neat, pretty cool, but they could definitely be improved, and Perlin noise can definitely do that.
Very nice. Well, until next time, Jeremy, we'll talk to you then.
Sounds good.
All right.